The Reality of the Gospel World Outreach Ministries presents the Voice of Deliverance broadcast, featuring the explosive preaching, bold teaching, and the powerful prayer of deliverance of Heaven's Ambassador, Leonard Ford. Brother Ford is a minister that does what others don't, and he has a ministry that goes where others won't. He and his wife, Jessie, travel across America and around the world, preaching hope and bringing deliverance. Whether they are in the church, under the gospel tent, or on the mission field, they boldly declare that if you continue in the word, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now I present to you Brother Ford.
I got your countdown. I just had a mistake I made. Praise the Lord, VTN viewers. Listen, this is Prophet Ford, but today I'm not preaching. I have a special program today. I just got to the point to where I made a decision this fall. I wanted to share some entrepreneurs with the viewers so you can understand that there are businesses that are ready here in the city, right in the central Arkansas area, that can minister to needs that you have that you may not be aware of. So today, I have two young entrepreneurs in the studio with me, businesses that I believe will make a major difference in what you do. I mean, we got sweet treats, we got meals for bereaved families, and some rare cases, some of those that have come out the hospital. So today, I want you to focus and pay attention as we talk to you about these services that are available in the community for you. Now, I have Brittany and Monique with me, and they're going to share their unique businesses with you, and I want you to be attentive as they share on it. Monique, tell us about your business and the why behind it.
So my name is Monique Ford, and the business is Bereavement, LLC. The why behind the company, we provide home-cooked meals to bereaved families here throughout the state of Arkansas. The why behind it, a few years ago, maybe about 15 years ago, my mother started, she went to a bereaved family's home, and she was just kind of aware that the people before her, like pretty much everyone had brought chicken, and that there weren't any sides, and that while she was there, that family ended up eating quite a bit of chicken, while she was there. And so she just kind of took note of that, and she said that every time moving forward that she went to someone's house, she would bring sides. And so that kind of over the years evolved to full meals, but it was always for friends and friends and friends and, extended family. And we always get so much feedback and appreciation. People are so grateful, and they tell you what a relief that service was for them. And so, since, even though that's been taking place since about 2005, this year I just decided everybody is so grateful, and I think that more people need an opportunity to have that experience and just be able to take that kind of stress of having to prepare meals during that time off of that person's plate. So the why behind it is just to kind of open it up to our community and let just a broader range of people experience someone preparing them a meal during the time of a loss in their family.
From Brittany, let's kind of hear the why behind your business.
Hello, my name is Brittany Hughes, and I am the owner and operator of the Beehive Sweet Shop, LLC. The why behind my business is I wanted to create and bake treats that would be affordable to the middle class. A lot of times, you have businesses that in particular cater to a special community, a special race, so to say, and a special age group. And so for me, my business, the why behind my business was to create affordable treats for all special occasions, as far as with events, with birthdays, graduations, baby showers, and things of that nature. And so the why is just, again, to make things to be affordable for the middle class.
Now, those are classic reasons for a business. When you do a business, your number one purpose is to meet the needs of the community. That's what makes the business relevant in the community. So I wanted to start with the why behind it, so you can understand that these young ladies are actually presenting business services to the community that the community needs and wants. And I'm particularly intrigued with Brittany's understanding the market that you think about this. Some people would gawk at a Lexus. That thing costs, and they see a Mercedes, like the Maybach. That's $100,000 car. It wasn't made for your class of people. It was made for the people who, when anytime somebody asks you, how much does it take to fill that tank up, then they're not ready to drive that level of car. So it's like a market announcer. But she realized in the middle class community there were services that were not affordable. So she wanted to create a business that would bring affordable but quality treats. And then, as with Monique, she saw a need that was being met, but she saw the accolades, the comments that were coming, but she saw the why. Because if you've ever had somebody that passed away, multitudes of people show up with KFC. And they just bring you chicken. They got all this meat and nothing to eat. So now we understand the why behind the businesses, and we see their purposes to minister into the community. So again, Monique, let's talk about, you talked about some of the comments you heard from when your mother was doing this business. But let's talk about some of the opportunities that you've already had to minister and the effect that you've seen it have.
So I've had the opportunity to do repass, and that honestly, when I kind of was thinking about this from a more business point of view, as opposed to just us doing it for friends and turning it into a business, I thought that's where a lot of my business would come from, is from doing working repass for churches and things like that. But what has actually happened is once we put it out there that this was available, people send meals to their friends, to their loved ones. So it didn't necessarily specifically affect them, but that your friend is going through this time. So we were just able to go ahead and start sending that. So that's been, an effect that the company has had. And people, again, it's just so grateful because from the point of view of the person sending it, you get to, make sure that your friend, loved one is aware that you care about them, but it also kind of takes that obligation of you having to necessarily go over sick, because sometimes from that person who's receiving its points of view, they are appreciative of the meal, but they don't necessarily want you to come over there and stay with them. It gets a little awkward, but you also don't want to be rude, but you're grateful. So it's just kind of, I'm able to kind of buffer the situation. But so repass and sending people just between friends and family meals, it's working out really, really well, and people are they're pretty grateful for the service.
So now, see, you would be in need of a service like that. Think about it. You're working, and if you're an entrepreneur yourself, you can't just leave, but you can send a meal, and then with the card, they know it came from you, and you minister to that person in that time of need, because they are trying to handle all this business. So I'm just trying to show you the businesses are unique, but they're necessary. So now, Brittany, let's talk about I know you did mention birthdays, and you talked about sweet treats from the Beehive. So what's the difference in what you do and then the typical guy or company that just writes happy birthday on the cake and you pick it up cold, whatever?
Wow, what is different from me than anyone else? I would say the Beehive Sweet Shop. I pride myself on as far as with customer service. Customer service for me is key. Also, the products must be of quality, and they must be fresh and taste good as well. I am called the Beehive Sweet Treat for a reason, because everything that you will taste will be sweet. But as far as with me, I go far and beyond to please my customers. I believe that they keep me going. They are the why as well behind my business. Is why I keep going. They motivate me and inspire me. You'd be surprised. Some of my customers come to me and say, "Hey, have you tried this yet?" And I said, "No." I said, "But let me do a little research, and then I'll have it on. I'll have it out. Give me about a month. I say 30 days to kind of perfect it." So my customers are also the why behind my business. And what makes me different from anyone else is that I have the passion. I care. I care about my customers. I care about their needs and what they're wanting. I want their special day to be special for them, with my sweets. And a lot of times people say, "Oh my God, your sweets were so delicious. They were so good." And so that in itself is a true testament and a true blessing to be able to make others happy. I think it's it's bigger than just providing a service. It's for me a calling. I always tell people that my business is a calling, and I truly mean that because I love sweets. I'm a candy girl. I'm an ice cream, and so I've been trying to do more of the healthy. And so about 2 years ago, I just said, man, I said, I'm gonna start my own company. I was, as I told you before, the why is making things affordable. Everybody, I have a child. He's 8 years old, and so I'm always throwing birthday parties. So for me, it's more so of who can I go to provide some good tasting treats at an affordable price. And so everybody that I talked to, prices were okay. I think that it fit what they were going after, that particular crowd. And so I said, I'm going to just start. And so I just started. And so I just, week by week, I got better. I started introducing more services, started creating more sweet treats, and just started to promote myself more and more as the months went by. So again, I have only been in business for about 2 years. It'll be 2 years in October. So what makes me different is that I am different. Because my business is more than just a business. It's a ministry. It's a calling. So that's what makes me
It's a
different.
calling, it's a passion, it's meeting a need. And see, I always say your difference is your significance. Because if you're just a clone of everybody else, it doesn't. And hearing you, you didn't say the words. What I'm hearing is you want the sweet treat to make the treat as sweet as the event.
Yes, sir.
So that the
Correct.
event is important to them, then they don't want to get disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, you see the uniqueness, you see the necessity of the businesses. So Monique, let's talk about the name of your business, and then the comfort factor, because I notice you always talk about that you actually what you're doing is what the scripture called comforting those that are that are mourning. Those that mourn shall be comforted. And so since the God of all comfort will minister comfort to people at this moment of bereavement, other than feeding that family and taking a little pressure off, what else is your company trying to do?
The goal, definitely, to just tag along to everything that you just said, is the comfort factor. It's actually a really big deal, because sometimes people think about comfort food and you think about it in a way of just making sure that people have another opportunity to get together, especially for the demographic that I'm working with. It's just one more opportunity for them to get together, sit down, like I said, have the stress of that of cooking. Not necessarily, because the time is the time and people process that differently, but you're just able to sit down around that meal, create more memories, have another opportunity to talk about the family member that you just lost, and kind of maybe connect or reconnect with the people that are there. So yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the why behind the name.
Oh, okay, so the word bereaved means a deprivation of, this is why I have my books, to be deprived of a close relationship or a friend through death. And so I wanted to be really clear when I started this company that I am focused on bereaved families. And I honestly thought this is going to make people not ask me, do you cater showers? Do you cater weddings? They do it anyway. But that was the reason for the name. I wanted to be very specific, with the demographic. But I will say, while I'm not interested in doing your shower or anything like that, I have opened it up to being able to provide services for new mothers and for people that are that have just had surgery or something to that effect. So those services we will kind of expand, but that's that. And there may be some other little things that kind of make sense along the way, but there is enough caterers in our city and in our community that will do that. I'm always happy to put that business in their way. But I will say, even with Brittany, she's just saying she's been putting herself out there, and that's the reason that I even knew about the Beehive Sweet Shop. The Beehive Sweet Shop provides the bundt cakes for my business. We only have 2 desserts, and one of them is always going to be bundt cakes from the Beehive. So you can either do that or a peach cobbler. But it had to do with her putting herself out there and just making sure that people are aware of the business. And so because of that, that's how I was even able to link up and hook up with her. And just because I was seeing it so constant. And I always want to encourage people to Don't just treat this as that little thing that I'm doing on the side, especially if you're serious about being in business. Like put yourself out there and make sure that people are aware of you. Social media is amazing for that type of thing. So be consistent with your content. Post, because somebody's paying attention. They may not need you right now. They could just be like, oh, that's cute, but then I'm going to need you at some point, and so I will have been aware of it. So but circling back, that's why I named my company Bereavement, because I really believed in my heart. Like, people were going to be like, oh, well, that's bereavement. She's not going to do other things, but people call me for everything, and I just have to respectfully decline, what I'm not, what I know I'm not going to do. And I'm just going to say this because I saw a quote the other day from Pastor Johnson that was to the effect of, when you don't have a vision, distractions look like opportunities. And so I wanted to be very clear about, this is what the vision of this company is. This is the direction that we're going. People make a lot of suggestions, and you appreciate them, and you just kind of have to take it like it goes. And just, again, sometimes it is helpful, like me starting with the moms. That's, people were kind of asking about that, and I was like, that actually, I could see that, I could do that, but there's some stuff I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that. But that is where bereavement comes from.
So the ability to stay focused and do what you got the passion to do, kind of like what Brittany was saying, is that this is my passion, so this is what I do. So let's find out the why behind the Beehive, the name Beehive.
The name behind the Beehive Sweet Shop. My name is actually Brittany, and so people that know me, or that people that grew up with me, call me B. And so when I was thinking about it, I wanted to research it, because you want to be different, and so you want to research even a name that you're thinking about, to make sure that nobody else has the name. If they do have the name, what type of business it is, to make your business unique and different. And so I said, okay, I said B. So everybody calls me B, and I was like, I want something with the B, because I love bees and I love the color yellow. Yellow is so very inspirational to me. It's such a bright color. So I believe in numbers and I believe in colors. And so I said, I'm going to be selling sweets. I'm going to be catering sweet treats. And so I was like, the Beehive Sweet Shop. It makes sense, because eventually, as my company progresses, I will be doing other things, as far as with opening up a bake shop. I just purchased myself a food concession trailer. So it should be in at the end of September. So that in itself is a blessing. I did a lot of sacrifice, and I did a lot of praying, and I had a lot of people to minister to me who believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself, and said, Brittany, you can do it. And so I'm so thankful that God has placed me in the position and in the presence of other people that truly have been inspirational and instrumental in my life. And I say that because I went to school with Monique Ford, and I watched her, and she inspired me in so many ways along the way, and so she still inspires me to this day. When she reached out to me, as far as with partnering with me for my company to provide the cakes for her, we talked a little bit, and she always left me with some words of wisdom. And so she said, Brittany, she said, this is something that I'm thinking about doing. I said, man, that is so amazing, because you've never heard of a service, about bereavement. Not here in Arkansas, you haven't. And so I always tell her, I said, man, that is an exceptional idea that you came up with. When you created that, you created something solid. And so, the name means so much to me, because you have to think longevity. So when you come up with the name, you want to make sure that that name is going to be around. And so when I thought about the Beehive, I could have, named it the Bee Treats or the Bee Sweets. But I said the Beehive Sweet Shop LLC, because eventually a shop will also come behind the name, the Beehive Sweet Shop. So.
But that's good. When you think of bees and the beehive, you think that's where the honey, the sweet stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's good.
Yes.
And yours is for all occasions.
Yes, sir.
And so that's, to me, excellent.
Thank you.
So, Monique, let's talk about the services, because you're trying to keep it narrow enough for them to understand what you do. So the services that you do provide.
So we provide, again, affordable home-cooked meals for people that are going through the loss of a loved one. So we make meals. I have a menu that has every single thing that I offer individually, and I call that the Create Your Own menu. You're able to go through and say, hey, I want, this meat, these sides, and kind of create it your own self. Or I have the option. I've just kind of go ahead and put some things together, and I just call them the bereavement bundle. So we have the comfort bundle, the condolence bundle, the peace bundle, and by the time this airs, it'll certainly be on the website. But I've got it available, but it's just not widespread yet. But the Be Encouraged bundle, and they're all accommodating either the Be Encouraged accommodates up to 10 people. The Comfort bundle is up to 25. Peace bundle is up to 20. And then the condolence bundle is up to 50 people. So it's just easier for you to say, hey, let me get this specific bundle. I know this is the amount of people that I'm trying to feed, and you can just kind of pick your sides and meats and kind of go from there. And then we also offer for the new mothers and the people from surgery, just depending on the kind of surgery that you've had. Like sometimes you need more protein based on what you've just gone through, and after surgery you can't have shellfish or something like that. So that's a little bit more for me to kind of talk to the person receiving that, just to kind of customize that a little bit more. So we offer that if it's here in the state, or I only service the state of Arkansas, but if it's here in the city of Little Rock, it's a $10 delivery fee, and then it caps out at $50 for the state. And again, that just has to do with the point of the company is for the meals to be affordable. So we're not trying to tax you too much as far as delivery fees. And so everything is going to come with the things that you would need, which are going to be serving utensils, plates, forks, cups, knives. We have sweet and unsweet tea made by Miss Jessie Ford herself. And so, again, the fantastic cakes made by Brittany at the Beehive. And so that's the services that we offer. We also have recently reached out to Dayspring, which is the Christian subsidiary of Hallmark. They're based in Siloam Springs, and they just gave their blessing for us to be able to also offer their greeting cards as a part of any meal. So you can also add that on, just so again, one more way for that family to know that you're thinking of them. Sometimes the food will be gone, but they'll be able to look back over that card, down the line for those words of encouragement on, the days that are harder than others. And also, just as I've been talking to my customers, one of the things that people tell me all the time is that when they first, they didn't have an appetite necessarily that first week. So I've opened it up to where if you're the person sending them the meal, you can pay for the meal, kind of right away. And then they have up to a month to get that meal. So it may be a couple of weeks if they're like, okay, I got my appetite back. Now I'm ready. And then that service is still available to them. And so you still have the opportunity to have sent it. They still get it and it didn't go to waste, because people sometimes they don't want to be ungrateful, and then they'll go ahead and receive it, but they didn't eat it, and then it was kind of pointless anyway. So that's usually, I feel, a good time frame for people to be able to kind of still enjoy that meal and that service.
And I know, Brittany, you're not gonna have that problem, because when it comes to sweets, I think everybody's got
They're ready right now.
And so Monique mentioned 8 to 50. So before I come back to you, so if there's a situation where I've got a family of 150, I just order 3 of those bundles.
That can be ideal, or you can say, let me get the one that I know services 50, and then come through and just pick from that, create your own menu. But yeah, that's ideal too. That's fine. That's what you want to do.
So now, Brittany, when it comes to the sweet treat, have you had to prepare treats for larger than 10, 50?
I have. I've done several weddings, baby showers. Guests can hold between 50 to 75, even 100 at times. I've done graduations, church occasions, pastor anniversary. So yeah, I have.
Okay, now I know Monique's business asks for a 48-hour heads up. So what's your time frame?
My turnaround time frame is 24 hours. So I will give it to you. You order by 6 p.m. You should have it the next following day, no later than 6 p.m. So I do a 24-hour turnaround period. Okay,
that's good.
Yeah.
We don't have a whole lot of time left, but I do want to find out, can you in 1 minute cast a projection for the next 12 months where you want to see your Beehive go from where it is?
Oh, wow. Next 12 months, again, I just purchased myself a food truck, concession trailer. So I see myself doing more events, getting myself out there more, marketing more. I'm currently probably in about 9 restaurants, Sharks, Mama's House of Burgers, Wings, Takeout, and a couple of other restaurants. And so I want to expand. I want to go into other restaurants and just seeing myself have my own shop one day. So.
Great. Okay, Monique.
For this next year, I would hope that we've only been going strong for 3 months, so that people just are able to be aware of the company right now. That's where I am, just making sure that people are aware that this is a service, and that prayerfully, not necessarily in the next year, even though that would be awesome. I don't put any limits on God, but my ultimate goal with the company is to be able to have a true brick and mortar, so still not a restaurant, but where I'm able to kind of create, and then people can also come to that space if they need to have their repast there, because sometimes people, they're not affiliated with a church or any type of facility like that, and so they either don't have one, or it has to be kind of confined to someone's home, or that's not necessarily what they would prefer. So just a space for people to be able to come and do that, but getting the word out, making sure that all of the markets are aware of this, because this is going to be a good service for a company to be able to send for their employees. Not only funeral homes, churches. It's everybody is going to need this service at some point. You just don't know it yet. So I just want to make sure that I'm available, and that people know that I'm available to kind of meet the needs of the people.
So you've heard it. If you need to send a meal to somebody that has been bereaved, or if you just need some sweet treats for that sweet event, that party, that birthday, she even said churches, pastors' anniversaries, now you know where to go. All of their information is on the screen, has been on the screen throughout the program. So you got their numbers, you got their websites, you know how to contact them. And remember, their whole purpose is for you. They are here to meet your need, to minister to you. So remember this. Jesus will pull you through if you can stay in the pool. God bless you. Praise the Lord, VTN viewers. Listen, I have a special invitation for you. I'll be coming to Little Rock, Arkansas for 1 week in a revival at the Great Empower Church in 1925 Mapleville Cutoff. That is the Great Empower Church of the Lord Jesus Christ. So I'm inviting you to meet me October the 15th through the 18th. Believe in God for an old-fashioned Book of Acts, power-packed, Holy Ghost revival right here in Little Rock. That's the Great Empower Church of the Lord Jesus Christ, 1925 Mapleville Cutoff, 7 p.m. each night. Make plans to meet me there. God bless you.
Through the uncompromising message that you heard today. If you would like to have this message in its entirety, send $8 for compact disc or $20 for video to the Reality of the Gospel Ministries Incorporated, P.O. Box 164091, Little Rock, Arkansas 72216. If you would like to become a partner with this ministry, you may do so by joining the Ally 200 Club at $25 a month, or you may become a Truth Ally for $10 or more each month. Send your offerings to the Reality of the Gospel Ministries Incorporated, P.O. Box 164091, Little Rock, Arkansas 72216. If you continue in God's word, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.